Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 between oGs.MC and Evil Genius's EG.Idra. Zerg versus Protoss, of course, the matchup for this continuation of the MLG at Orlando. Once again, guys, I don't recall if this is from the group stage or if this is from the championship bracket. I just know that it's MC versus EG.Idra, and a lot of people said it was really, really good. And, you know, seeing these two names, obviously, it's going to be a very, very good matchup. So I pulled it down and, you know, I decided to bring it out for you guys. So, yes, this is going to be EG.Idra. He's the red Zerg, as usual, not switching races or anything fancy like that. He's the red Zerg over here at the right. The map is dual site, which is an interesting map. I don't think I've casted too many games on this one, so I'll give you guys a quick map view after I introduce MC. This is oGs.MC from old generations. Been playing Protoss for a very long time. He has a couple of Code S titles under his belt, and pretty much known as the best Protoss player in the world. He kind of slumped for a while in the last couple of months. He was kind of fighting for Code A. Well, he fell down to Code A in the up and down matches. GSL has an interesting format. Basically, they have Code B, Code A, and Code S. Code S is the top of the top elite. Code A is a little bit lower than that, and Code B is a little bit lower than that. And the story here is MC was a Code S player, he then dropped down to Code A, then he went into the up and down matches fighting for Code A back again because he was about to get demoted into Code B. So he was in a slump for a while, but now he's back. A lot of people saying that he's kind of back on the scene again because he's been pretty prominent all throughout a lot of major tournaments. One that comes to mind is the last MLG where he played against Huck, obviously. So he is definitely on the rise again. The President Toss himself, as a lot of people like to call him. EG.Idra never really got demoted from Code S. He just kind of left Korea and decided to play in North America. That's his story. So he never got the demote. He's just basically the best foreigner living in a foreign country such as the United States. So yeah, interesting little backdrop there for you guys. And this map is dual site. We already have a pylon blocking the hatchery here though for MC against EG.Idra. So pretty nice play right here. I'm surprised EG.Idra doesn't have Zerglings coming out yet. He's just got a pair right now, so his hatchery is going to be delayed by a little bit. He's not going to be too happy about that. But let's take a look at the map. As I was glancing around the map, look at this. EG.Idra decides to sneak the expansion over at the third. Now, MC does have the option of going for a forge cannon rush, as he's already got a forge down because he's making a cannon at the natural. But it doesn't look like he's going to commit to that. So anyways, it's a big map, guys. It's 1 versus 1. A little bit of interesting features here with the steam vents, or the lava vents, I guess you could say, where you can't see beyond that. But it is basically flat terrain, so there's basically 2 entrances into your natural that you've got to be wary about. But the center of the map is pretty wide open for Zerg flanks and Zerg counterattacks. It's generally considered to be a pretty decently balanced map, and MLG likes to use it quite a bit in their map pool. But yeah, getting back to this game, EG.Idra forced to kind of grab the natural, rather at the natural location, grabbing it at the second natural location. So he's gonna get the hatchery over there. He's also got a couple of Zerglings kind of playing leapfrog over here at the left-hand side of the map. It looks like he looks like he's looking for a proxy right now. So I guess he's a little concerned after losing the first game that MC would try to cheese him. And I mean, you know, this is just generally good play to send out your initial workers and kind of explore every crevice of the map just to make sure that nothing weird is happening. And it gives you that sense of security once you see that there isn't anything going on to play, to drone up as a Zerg, to play more greedily and get those economy workers going. So, yeah, EG.Idra is doing a pretty good job. Nice timing on that inject there. Look at that. The Queen had like one or two energies as soon as inject came out, so he's very good on the timing. Getting a third expansion now. So he is basically on par with MC right now, and MC's not revealing his tech quite yet, and you wouldn't expect him to until around the 7 to 8 minute mark. But eventually MC will choose his tech route, and that is going to dictate the rest of this game. Is he going to go into a Stargate for harass? Is he going to go into, you know, 6-gate plus more for all in? Is he going to go into 5-gate robo? Kind of remains to be seen. We'll have to see. One zealot on the way right now. MC's Lone Warrior going across the fields on dual site. Looks like it's going to go and check the economy on the third expansion. Yes, it is. So it's heading over to the north right now. EG.Idra already has a couple of Zerglings at these towers, so he does see the initial zealot coming. And upon seeing that Zealot, he decides to build a Roach Warren and continues to drone up. I really like that. You know, he's not overreacting to a single Zealot. He knows a Queen should be able to handle it, and he's already got a few Zerglings anyways. That Zealot is going to go down. And really, it didn't see anything except for, you know, the economy. But the Zealot did prove enough of a distraction for MC to get a probe into the main. So maybe that was MC's purpose right there, and he's going to get a run right by through, and he doesn't see a lair. He doesn't see a lair. He only sees Roach Warren and Evo Chambers. So MC now knows that Idra is going to have a very big lack of technology, and immediately, as soon as MC sees that, what does he throw down? He throws down a Dark Shrine. That is just very smart play, you know. At 8 minutes into the game, if you don't see a lair coming up yet, you know, get the Dark Shrine out. He knows that if he can get some DTs out, that the detection for Idra is going to be very lacking, and he's going to try to exploit that. So I really like the game behind that, the thought process behind that move, and we'll have to see if it's going to play out or not, because actually Idra is now getting a lair. He's actually getting it at the 3rd, but he did, you know, he got it pretty late still, nonetheless. But Idra is just covering all corners right now. He is getting a Spore Crawler at each of his hatcheries. So, and at the end of the day, that Dark Shrine, I don't know if it's going to pay off. The Dark Templars are going to come out on the field, but then they're going to be greeted by a couple of Spore Crawlers, and then what is MC going to do? A couple of Zerglings getting a surround here on the Stalker, but the Zealot's already there to protect that guy, and it looks like MC is going to get out of there without losing a single unit. Just right now, buying time, it looks like, for the Dark Templar, and his Pylon's warping in immediately as soon as the Dark Shrine finishes, and now he's going to start to warp in a couple of DTs, I would imagine. No, he's not. He's actually making another pylon a little bit closer to the 3rd before he makes DTs, but Idra's already prepared. He's already got a Spore Crawler and a Spine Crawler at each of his hatcheries. Well, a Spore at each of his hatcheries at the very least. No Spine Crawler at the natural, but he's pretty much safe against Dark Templar harass, and these 3 DTs are not going to be able to do a thing. They're running right into a Spore Crawler. The Roach is just laughing right there. They know that they can take out these DTs pretty easily, and MC has to fall back. MC has to fall back. MC sending another Dark Templar trying to go on a lone snipe assassination mission, but it runs into a Spore Crawler there at the natural as well. MC's idea, MC's execution here, his strategy has been thwarted by Idra. Idra just one step ahead of the curve and intelligently, you know, throwing down the Spore Crawlers because he knew that probe got into his main. He knew that his lair was presumably really late. And intelligently, he guessed that MC, and correctly guessed that MC was going to go for Dark Templar. And as a result, he got the Spore Crawlers. And not to mention, I mean, even if you're wrong about the Dark Templar, you're still going to be safe against something like Void Rays and Phoenixes. So Spore Crawlers kind of serve a double purpose in that regard. And Idra's going to be very happy about that. I mean, at this point, he is definitely ahead. Unlike the last game, MC did an obscene amount of damage to his Overlords, to his Queens. A couple of drones went down as well. This game, MC hasn't done diddly squat. And he went for a Dark Shrine, which really hasn't paid off at all. So, MC's certainly fighting a bit of an uphill battle now. So the table's a little bit turned. Idra, knowing that Dark Templar were out on the field, has decided now to field some Hydralisks onto the board. And I agree with that decision because, you know, Colossus are going to be very delayed now. In fact, I'd be surprised if MC even goes into a support bay for Colossus, because he's already got the Twilight Council down. I would imagine he's just going to stick with some, you know, basic gateway units with Charge and Blink. He may get, yeah, he's got some Archons, so he's probably going to go with the Charge Lot Archon composition. And, you know, Roaches and Hydras are pretty damn good against Charge Lots and Archons. So, you know, Idra looking pretty good here. Creep spread starting to move out across the map. This is one thing that I've noticed about Idra lately, is he hasn't been as religious on his creep spread. Certainly before, back in the days, I remember he would be spreading creep all the time. In this game, a little bit less on the creep spread, actually relying a little bit more on Overlords, who are pooping on the ground, as I made the analogy to seagulls pooping all up in the air. That's what Idra is doing this game. Also has an Overlord now. Flying in for a bit of a gander into the main. It sees Charge Lots and Archons based on the Twilight Council. At least Idra should be able to deduce that. So he's making more Hydras right now, and he's looking pretty good. Income showing 72 over 55. Units lost, there you guys see it right there. And spending, pretty even on army. Economy looking much bigger for Idra, actually. Idra holding a huge advantage in that department. Now we do have a battle underway here. The Changeling just goes off immediately. MC all over that. Now a couple of force fields going down. This is a bit of a precarious situation, I feel like, for EG.Idra, because there is that choke there for force fields to kind of work their magic. And there you guys see it right now. A couple of roaches getting locked away from the main army. MC has a pretty good spot here, but his Archons are kind of shuffling in the back. They need to get in the front and do what they do best, which is tank the damage, soak it up, and dish it back out. Now MC, even though he's got a better position, I think he may have a smaller army. It remains to be seen. EG.Idra's Hydra's just tearing everything up in the background. They have +1 weapons, but I think MC's forces are too much, and he has a better concave, as I said before, along with the high ground right here. He is going to be able to push EG.Idra back. I feel like EG.Idra needs to fall back right now into a better spot. It's just, you know, it's just not the best spot for Zerg to engage against a Protoss army, especially when it's controlled this well by a player of MC's caliber. So, another changeling comes out. Yes. Revealing the army. It's pretty much entirely stalkers at this point, so EG.Idra should know that, you know, roaches and hydras are still going to be golden in this situation, but the thing here is he's got to pick his terrain, his battle wisely. Everybody knows a good general always picks his terrain wisely, where he engages with his forces, and EG.Idra should be, you know, he's intelligent enough to know that. Now he is going to fight right here. Once again, I don't agree with this. There's too many forces warping in. MC has a shortened reinforcement route due to all the pylons, but it looks like EG.Idra finishing +2 weapons right there, timing it out perfectly, and that was the sole reason why he was able to break that Protoss army. At the same time, also distracting MC with 4 roaches running into the main, and what does that do? It forces MC to waste a couple of cycles on zealots. It forces him to distract himself with the main and the natural, rather than you know, focusing in the middle of the battlefield for the actual battle, and MC forced to GG. Wow. EG.Idra with a very well timed attack there with +2 weapons. That was pretty much the turning differential, and it was able to overcome the terrain disadvantage and the you know, the positional disadvantage. Really nice play, really nice 2-pronged attack. EG.Idra showing his true colors right here, and that means we're going to go to a game 3. And I hope MC kind of changes his game plan a bit. I don't think you can sit back and macro against a player like EG.Idra. Last game, EG.Idra, you know, was harassed, and he still had more supply than MC. This game, EG.Idra wasn't harassed, and look at his supply. He was pretty much maxed compared to MC. So really nice play right there. Let's go ahead and go on to the next game, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. HD signing out.